Psalm 50. The Psalm of Asaph. The Mighty One, God the Lord, has spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun to its going down. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God will shine forth. Our God shall come and shall not keep silent. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous all around him. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together to me, those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Let the heavens declare his righteousness, for God himself is judge. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against you. I am God, your God. I will not rebuke you for your sacrifices or your burnt offerings, which are continually before me. I will not take a bull from your house, nor goats out of your folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine, and all its fullness. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer to God thanksgiving, and pay your vows to the Most High. Call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. But to the wicked God says, What right have you to declare my statutes, or take my covenant in your mouth, seeing you hate instruction, and cast my words behind you? When you saw a thief, you consented with him, and have been a partaker with adulterers. You give your mouth to evil, and your tongue frames deceit. You sit and speak against your brother, you slander your own mother's son. These things you have done, and I kept silent. You thought that I was altogether like you, but I will rebuke you, and set them in order before your eyes. Now consider this, you forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoever offers praise glorifies me, and to him who orders his conduct aright, I will show the salvation of God.
Psalm 50. God examines our hearts. Now, imagine it is God who summons you into his presence. That's exactly what happened in Psalm 50. God came to us in his majesty and asked some pointed questions that weren't easy to answer. We can't lie or cover up what's really in our hearts. We listen silently and respond honestly and believe that God has our best interests in mind. It seems that God has summoned the entire universe as witnesses, but it's also clear that God has come down to judge his own people. Israel was his covenant people in the Old Testament, just as Christians are his people today. Because we have a special relationship with God and have his word and his spirit to guide us, God places a greater responsibility on us to live in faithful obedience to him. God is not pleased with just the outward ritual of worship, he looks at the heart. Here is God's complaint. The people of Israel were bringing all the correct sacrifices. They brought burnt offerings and thank offerings and gave them to God exactly as the law required. They did it thinking that God would be pleased by the sacrifices and the rituals. God, however, was looking at the attitude of their hearts. God doesn't need animals given to him. He already possesses everything. God requires sacrifices so that he has the opportunity to examine the hearts of those who give. He wants the sacrifice to spring from a heart of love and adoration for him. We don't offer animals to God anymore, but we still bring sacrifices to him in worship, the sacrifice of our praise, the sacrifice of our gifts, the sacrifice of ourselves. And God still examines our hearts to see if we are just going through the motions or if our sacrifices spring from hearts of genuine love for him. Are you singing praise, consciously lifting your adoration to God? Are you giving as an expression of sacrificial love for God? When you take part in the communion service, is your heart focused on Jesus? When you leave the worship service, is your life marked by obedience to Jesus? We need to look carefully at our hearts because God is watching and waiting for the joyful response that pleases him.